Yes,
Peace. Welcome to another episode of Around the Way Curls.
Hello.
To be confused with Around the Way Girl.
Or
Hi.
to be, what is all the tapping? You tap, you ain't got nothing up, do you?
No, I'm trying to make it clear. I'm trying to make it a distinct, this on this side, this on that side, or whatever.
What year is your Mac that you got to tap it that hard?
I'm excited.
Why would you just ignore what I said?
I'm excited.
Weird.
That's why. I don't know what year it is.
Oh, okay.
You know what year your Mac is?
What? Shanti, go up to the Apple icon.
Girl, we are not doing this right now because it's not entertaining.
That's all you have to do. Anyway. Hi. How you doing?
In my ears. I'm well.
Very good.
How are you?
I'm getting sick. The bug is getting me, if you could hear it. It's my fault.
We went out.
Last weekend. I wasn't. I know, but that's not why I'm sick. But yeah, you got sick. So cool. We went out though. We did it.
We went out. Shout out to Renee's very successful event. Her 6th annual. She did that holiday bazaar and the mezzanine. It was 40 plus Black women-owned businesses showcasing their wares and talents for a eager customer base in New York City.
That was
Make sure you arrive next year.
That was a really good ad.
It was good. It was fun, right?
It was fun. I had a good time. I work for Sable.
You did.
I did it. I did well.
I did fabulously.
I got like 15 sales at least.
You asked good questions.
Thank you.
I think I'm learning also what good employee, like you can spot a good employee within the first 3 conversations. Yeah. And you are a good employee.
Thank you. You have to be personable. You have to get the conversation going.
More important, it was your interest in the back end of like the mechanics of a thing versus okay. Oh, all right.
No, I said I need to know the things in order to run the things. Yes. Yeah. I want to say it makes a really big difference when someone comes to the booth that you say hello and you're like, hi, or you compliment them on something.
But yes, I learned that in the service industry. Girl, I love your bag. But it's sincere though. I like the people that came to the booth were
they were fly.
Bad bitches to the
left. Oh.
Shout out to Charmaine, who is a listener, and I think this is like the 2nd time that she's come to a New York event. She's the lovely lady that came to the Roots picnic. Light skin. She had all the chains on, short blonde hair. Yeah. I don't know if her hair is blonde right now, but shout out to you. Thank you so much for chopping it up with your girl.
That was fun.
We have fun. Shout out to Nana, who came through as well, killing with the O. No? Killing with an O.
Somebody said to her, they said, can you say your name again? And she was like, Nana. And he was like Foxy Brown. She was like, the illest there ever was. I said, I love this energy. Yeah, shout out to Nana. We had a great time at that event. And then what happened? And then what did I do?
We went out to a bar.
But before we did that, you came in here and terrorized my neighbor. And she been making me pay for it ever since, child.
I forgot about that. We went on the live. Internet would tell me about your neighbor that if you put on music, she would stop. And I was like, yeah. But for the first time, Internet put on some music. And then all of a sudden,
it was low, right?
This woman river dancing above us. And what a time was had with that.
Let me tell you,
let's fucking go.
I just put in my Sonos surround sound. And so she's really having a fucking fit now. She's up there. Nana was here yesterday and she was saying like, she's going to give herself a heart attack. Like she's moving furniture. She's throwing stuff at the ground. She's jumping up and down like an ape. Like she's tripping. And I'm playing stuff. So it's like, I was showing Nana what I was playing. I'm playing like meditation music. And she's furious. It's like, you are a miserable woman. But shout out to her. I want to say she did not. I just realized
Don't say nothing silly, please.
that I can't hear myself in my headphones.
Because they weren't in the whole time?
They in. But why can't I hear?
I don't think I
Anyway.
can hear myself either. Do we normally hear? I can hear
I don't
you.
know, actually.
Nigga, I can hear you though. Are you high? Wait,
You're right.
I can
We don't
hear-
have playback for ourselves. I'm tripping. Apologies. I'm used to being in the studio with Mandy and them.
I was about to say.
I'm used to a real production. Sorry.
Girl,
I will say I'm exhausted. Let me let you finish your story. Go right ahead, Queen.
anyway, after that fun week, and I immediately fell ill and felt shame.
You skipped over us dancing the night away. I'll cover that. Go ahead. We had
We went
fun.
to
I showed you a
what
good
was
time.
that called?
Rogers Garden.
Went to Rogers Garden. Ended up falling into a birthday party of a friend that Antoinette knew. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was what
Shout
I
out to
needed,
Heather.
what I wanted, what I want more of. It's
Mm.
given entry into the kind of birthday and year that I would
Ooh.
want for myself.
Oh my God. When this comes out, oh no, the next episode will be, your birthday's on a Thursday, right?
I don't know. I think so. 15th, yeah.
The next episode, we have to sing you happy birthday because it is your birthday when it comes out. It's
Okay.
exciting.
But it was fun. Thank you for your contribution and guidance and the good food. And she took us to get some pho.
And you ain't listening.
That pho up. Still.
Y'all, Shanti is annoying. I told her what kind of pho to get. I told her to get the short rib pho. She went ahead and got the beef one and then ate the short rib.
Because Antoinette, you
Ain't
like
mine.
pickled and peppery things in a way that I don't.
No.
And
no.
I saw it had pickled pineapples, and I said, I don't ever
It
want that
didn't
in
have
my
pickled
pho.
pineapples. That's
But it
not
didn't
true.
have it, so they should take it off the menu because
It did have it. They
is-
marinated in it.
They didn't make
It's
that
not
clear.
in the pho. Well, you should have just listened. You gotta just trust me.
Mm.
Trust.
Mm. Interesting
Very.
concept there.
Fucking sad. In other news, kind of the same news, because we don't really do that much. So when we do something, it's a big deal. Yeah, we went out. I had not been out that late. We stayed out late and then we hung back. Like, we had people come back to my place and like hang and chill. And I have not done that in so long. I looked up and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And for the next 3 or 4 days, I just have felt awful.
You
And
have yet to
then
recover.
I went out last night on a school night.
Mm.
And now I feel feverish. Like, I'm dead serious. I
Yeah.
feel my head is hurting. I can feel it getting high. I know I'm getting sick. I hear it in my voice. And I'm mad. At this old age, at this big age. But
It's we have to care for ourselves differently. Like we have to like brace ourselves. It's like no.
we're fighting it. We don't realize that we are old. A little bit. Anyway. Or we have to take better care of ourselves.
I think
so
that's
that-
the
I
thing.
think it's more that.
It's like
We should have
can't just
prepared for our
repeated
downfall.
nights of no. Yeah, we should have had like herbal supplements, smoothies,
Yeah.
like
Better diet, better rest.
colonics, like
Yeah. Drink water,
Basic.
maybe.
basic body and spirit.
In other news, I would like to shout out Sis. I don't remember her name, but she was lovely, and she came up to me at Renee Blewett's Holiday Bazaar, and she took my hand in her hand ever so gently, and she was speaking to me through your coat rack, and she said, "I am a 53-year-old woman." That was the first thing I said. How? Where? Because that woman.
Like don't crack, child.
I don't know. She's drinking her water and minding her business. But she came up to me and she spoke a life into me. And she listens to our podcast and came on through and she talked to me about the importance of pleasure, of engaging in intimacy, and in seeking that out and prioritizing it, not just talking about it,
Being about it.
but being about it. And she said, you need to go wherever you need to go and get whatever you need to get. Because, girlfriend, I've been listening to you. And in 10 years from now, you're going to look back and say, I wish I could have, would have.
That's what she said. I didn't get that part.
Basically, that's what she, yeah, that was in summary. But she took my hand and it just felt like, I've been saying I need a elder.
I guess she's not considered an elder, but older black woman.
older than my raggedy friends, somebody who's lived more than you and I, to come through with the come through, and she absolutely did. And sis, I want you to know that I took heed, and I've been outside with a different kind of energy. I've been honest about that energy. I went out yesterday and I was attempting the flirt. All right. The flirt happened very, what is it? Very organically. I was at an event again with Nana, and I immediately, as soon as I walked in, I said, ooh, he is handsome. He was this tall man. I don't know if I ever talk to this man again, but it's just me putting this energy into practice. It's making me excited. Tall, dark, chocolatey, bearded man with locks put up in like a nice suit. Ooh. And he was just standing there with his legs crossed, kind of leaning against this pillar. And I saw him and thought, wow, that is an attractive man, and kept it pushing. And then I kind of stood behind him at the bar and was observing him a little bit, but too afraid to say anything. Nana was just go up to him and say, you look really handsome, and then walk away. And I said, I can't, no. So instead, I was talking to these women next to me, and I was making jokes, you know me. And then the people around me were laughing, and he turned around and caught a group of people laughing at me. And then we caught eyes, and I thought about you, and I was mid laugh. So I kept the smile, and then I looked bashfully away, and then I came back, and he was still there. And then he went and got us chairs, and he was super,
and provision.
Yes, he was super kind and very comfortable, handsy, a little handsy, but not in an inappropriate way, just comfortable, charismatic. And then at the end of the night, he turned to me and took my hand. He was like, it was really a pleasure meeting you. He said, I don't remember your name. Tell me your name again. And I said it, and then he just kind of held my hand, and he didn't know what to do either. And I said, is that the last time you're going to say it? And he smiled and looked like, oh, okay. And then he took his number, he took his phone out and took my information or whatever. Or no, he actually told me to take his number, and I was like, absolutely not. You take mine because you're asking me to do too much now. Listen, it was a big deal for me to say that. Just come on. So I was proud of myself. I really was.
I am proud of you as well. Congratulations.
And you saw me. I flirted when we were out Saturday too.
Come up. Yes.
So I'm getting into this practice.
I'm about to make you into a whole fucking beast out here on these streets.
I don't know about wanting to be. Well, I will say that I'm turning into a puma, because every time I flirt, I'm telling you, I'll turn around and then these little kids are talking about they're 20-something.
Not 20-something.
And I'm like, where is the 3? You're missing the 3 or the 4. I would prefer the 4, actually. Where's the 4 and not 24? 42?
No.
It's the wrong kind of dyslexia happening over here. So it's getting tricky, but we going to see.
Rocking the cradle. Rock the cradle.
And then in true Antoinette fashion, one last update is that we all know that I'm a Lady Libra. And I just have, we know that I love love. And so I'm going to institute, I think, every month, my new Libra list of crushes.
Okay.
And I've been crushing. I'm not in love with him yet. But remember when I said that Jasmine kept sending me Van Lathan and was like, I think this is your husband. He's smart. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I didn't pay him much mind. And I listened to the Jonathan Majors interview on his Higher Learning podcast. And then I went down the rabbit hole of Van Lathan, not to be confused with Van Jones. And the more I listened to him talk, I said, I think I have a crush.
Oh man, listen, the degrees of separation is probably fucking 1. So
no.
Man,
I'm not gonna ask her to say anything or anything. That's crazy.
I'm not talking about her. It ain't just Jazz. It's a small world after all.
Well, I think I know somebody that he talked to.
If you slide in your DMs, girl.
I'll be like, hi, would you like to talk about Dr. Umar's latest appearance on The Breakfast Club? There were some points that he made, but there was others that I found to be very problematic. What is his deal with Dr. Umar? We need to get into that. We will in a bit, but that man. Whew. Anyway, if he slid into my DMs, I would say hello.
Listen.
And probably screenshot it to you and say, what should I say? I don't know what to do. And then you would tell me, and then I wouldn't say it.
I know, and then you wouldn't say it, and then you
ruin it. Shout out to me. Anyway, those are my updates on what I would like. Also, I would like to thank, moving into, what time it is. We about to sit here and ask y'all for more labor. Please rate and subscribe and share around the way, girls. I want to thank the folks. So many people left reviews and comments. And I read them, and they were really beautiful because we said that was all we wanted for Christmas / Kwanzaa. Because I failed to shout Kwanzaa out. But after listening to Dr. Umar, I realized it was because of my mixed race ways. So I apologize.
Snow bunny blood. Can't help it.
Snow bunny blood had me out here.
Sabotage your black
fucking up. At all costs. I was prioritizing the wrong things. So I would like to thank you all for that. And please, we are still taking Christmas gifts, so feel free to continue to rate, subscribe, and share and review. That's it. You want to go into hot shit now?
Go, drop it like it's hot. Shout out to our new
shout out. Go ahead.
Editor, first of all, Monty. Hey, Monty. Dun, 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 dun. We have a new editor, guys, which means that some labor is off of our shoulders, which frees us up energetically to be more generous with our creativity and our time. And we owe that to Monty, who is helping us out. So shout out to you. Shout out to all of our patrons on Patreon who make that shit happen. This is... The wheels are turning, y'all. Things are happening. We're all in community in some kind of way. It's all working. We're very, very grateful. But Monty, thank you and welcome. And yay! Congratulations.
And big shout out to Monty too for we had I spoke with him and I was just telling him like, it's basic. We just want you to put these things together, piece them together for us. You don't have to take out, the mistakes or this or that. And he was just like, absolutely not. I am going to make this podcast sound better. I don't care what you say. I'm taking all of the additional noises from me. I realize that it's me. I have extraneous noises because my chair is on wheels and I have a pre-war apartment in Brooklyn and my floors are not level. So the chair moves all the time, and then I end up having to shift and get myself back in front of this camera and this ring light. But I smartened up today, and now my chair is on a towel. So I'm hoping that prevents some of the moving, but we will see. But shout out to Monty, really appreciate you. In other news, you might have heard Dr. Umar. I was listening to him when Shanti hopped on to the call. That man, he made an appearance on The Breakfast Club yet again. And what an interesting, Charlamagne called him the King Kong of consciousness. And I hate him for that
That's
so much.
brilliant. Yo, that's bars right there. The King Kong of consciousness. Yo.
That had me weeping.
That goes so hard. I love that.
But I realized too that some people were asking about Dr. Umar, so I don't feel like everyone that listens to the podcast knows who he is and knows what he's about.
Protected at all costs. That's who he is. He's a pillar of the Black community.
Dr. Umar is so problematic though. Like, what is up with him and his beef with the LGBTQIA community? Like, he just, for the life of me, I will never understand why so many Black and brown, mostly the Hotep leaders, don't recognize that the LGBTQIA community is a huge part of Black freedom and their release from oppression. I just will never understand. I'm like, I don't understand how James Baldwin exists and you don't acknowledge all that he is. I guess he's looking. I have to play this clip. I was trying to avoid clips, but I'm going to play it. Let me just play this clip real fast of Dr. Umar on Barack Obama.
And make sure that we are graduating well-rounded young men who can go anywhere in the world and build independent communities. We are a nation-building academy. We are not college prep. We are not military prep. We are not trade school prep. They will be ready for any of those. But above all that, we are nation-building.
Can you answer that President Obama question? I'd like to know the answer to that.
Oh, Barack Obama was made president for two reasons. Domestically, he was made president to force alternative sexual lifestyles onto Black children, sexual confusion as a means of population control. And internationally, he was made president to go to Africa and to force AFRICOM there, to build military bases all throughout the continent. And guess what? There's been about 6 coups in Africa over the past year. And every single coup was in a country with a United States military base. No coincidence. America only
I'm going to cut it off. But he goes on, and Charlemagne and Envy actually ask him, like, what is his, because Dr. Umar is opening a school. Did you know that?
Opening a school for years, girl.
No, but it's actually no. It's actually happening. Like, things are moving. Like, he got permits and shit. Like, shit is happening. Anyway, DJ Envy asked him, what are the prerequisites, if any, to attend your school? And he was like, you got to be Black. And DJ Envy asked it like, can mixed kids go? Can gay people go? Can this go? And the only thing that he answered was about mixed race folks. And he was like, you basically saying, we don't discriminate against mixed race Africans if they identify and understand that they are indeed African, both physically and mentally. And because basically slave owners would rape, I can't with him. Slave owners would rape, slaves all the time. Africans cannot basically be in control of who their parentage is, yada, yada, yada. Ciao. But he never addressed the other question around gay folks. And then he continues to talk about gay folks throughout the interview in a really disparaging way. And it's interesting because it's like he makes certain points. Duality is a thing. He makes certain points that are poignant. And then, he's talking real fast like Hotep's talk. But then he just misses the mark so clearly on this one very and they don't call him on it. They don't call him on it.
Oh, they don't call him on it.
They don't. They ask about it, but they don't call him on it on the interview.
Is that the style of the interview in general, of them picking apart his theory, or they just asking him and he's doing?
I guess they're just asking him and letting him
just
go.
Just because he's around Black. I guess what we are all trying to figure out, understand, and unlearn is that it's all intersectional, and that if you're holding on to gender norms and gender binaries, then you're stuck. You don't get free. Access denied. It won't work.
I would love to hear a discussion, not a debate, but a discussion where someone, I don't know who, Who? Who? Who are our
Fucking
leaders
Mark
right now?
Lamont Hill would be a
Yeah, but I don't
fabulous-
want Mark Lamont Hill. I feel like a
What, a woman?
Roxanne Gay or
Yaba
even
would eat
Adrian.
him
Yaba
up.
would eat. Well, I don't.
Yaba
I'm
would
sure.
agree with him.
Yaba would agree with
I
him
actually
on
don't
certain.
know how Yaba. Yeah, I've heard Yaba joke about him like we all do. I think we all do. Like even me saying protect Dr. Umar at all costs is just
Right. Tongue in cheek.
a troll. But also,
I don't know.
He's not.
Adrian,
He's not completely. I don't think we've thrown. He's not completely. Maybe he should be. I don't know. Not you in here got me
I don't want to
thinking
be
about. Got to let go.
No, I don't think it canceled. I think he needs to be educated. Like an
He
Adrian
knows well
Marie
enough.
Brown. Like I feel like there's something he's
like
still
you light skinned. I am not taking any dictation or direction from you. You are too close to the white man for
anyway.
me.
This isn't even a main topic, but I just wanted to mention it because I think people should check it out, especially if you don't know who Dr. Umar is. I think it gives you a real understanding.
Why are y'all ever referencing him? If you actually check out Dr. Umar, you're all like, wait, what? Why?
Dr. Umar, what a character he is. Moving right along. I don't know how to say this woman's name, but we played her music last week. We played a clip of her, the woman who has that really angelic voice, and she was playing the upright bass. She apparently has a single that dropped today. I didn't even get a chance to listen to it. But a lot of people tagged me and was like, thank you so much for her. So again, her name is Ganav as in Victor YA. She is incredibly talented, and she just dropped some music. So I would love to check that out. This other thing we could skip because I didn't get a chance to watch the movie because I'm sick. But Fran Hay recommends 9 Days.
Oh,
On
where's
Amazon.
my girl Zazie?
Yes, with Zazie Beetz.
Is that with her actual husband?
She's
Or
married?
Well, no. The love of her life? I think she actually
Who's the
did
love
a
of her
movie with
life?
him. A white man.
A white man? Interesting.
Yes.
No, I don't know if he's in it, but Winston, what's his name? The boy from Black Panther? The big boy that everybody be like, ayo. Anyway, Winston Duke. Yeah, he's in it.
That's the love interest?
I believe possibly. Again, I didn't watch the movie. But Will challenges candidates to undergo tests for a chance at life on Earth. But when a free-spirited candidate challenges his worldview, he's forced to reckon with the possibility of a new path forward in his own life. And it's a Sundance winner. Fran says that it's very woo-woo and we'll fuck with it. So I'm here for it.
I think that
I
is
feel
with her
like
husband.
tomorrow, as I nurse my fever, my impending fever, that I will watch it. It is not free. But, you know, Black folks are in it. Support it.
In politics as usual. Wow. Good brother Herschel,
Not good, brother, now.
the brother Herschel Walker.
Cool.
I am Herschel Walker. Loses in Georgia. Child. Were you nervous?
Yes.
I was nervous. I was
Yes,
scared.
I was nervous until I realized where the votes. At first, he was like winning, and then I realized that certain votes had not come in from like the Atlanta area and stuff, and I said, "Oh, okay, we'll wait." But so much to be discussed here that we won't be able to cover in this podcast. But I want to say that Herschel Walker did receive 1,719,483 votes.
When you be reading them long numbers,
It gets you going?
Yeah, I see.
Oh, and it bothers me. I mean, I'm not surprised. You know, his son, people are like, oh, Trump messed it up. Like, no, this is like, we deserve what we get. The fact that so many people were able to just like hold their nose and stomach voting for him. And some people actually believed in him. But for the majority, I don't believe they did. I believe that they were just like voting because they wanted their interests represented in the Senate But this is someone I did not know all of the things that he was accused of because I just would busy myself laughing at his rants and his ignorance. But I did not know that he had held guns up to his ex-wife.
Yes, girl, I didn't mention this when I came back from Atlanta. Those ads that they had against each other was like watching an intense high drama play out. The ads against each other that played.
Really?
I said, "Isn't that what he do?" No,
It was-
no, Hirsch, no.
It was
It
like a
was-
reality show?
It was wild, and then at the end, it would be like, Herschel Walker approved this message. I'd be like, oh my God, that was intense.
His said the truth. Trump called his son, excuse me, the truth. Trump called my dad for months, demanding in capital letters that he run. Everyone with a brain begged him, please do not do this. This is too dirty. You have an insane past. Please don't do this. Then he goes on, and he says, don't beat women. Don't hold guns to people's heads. Don't fund abortions and then pretend you're pro-life. Don't stalk cheerleaders. Leave your multiple minor children alone to chase more fame. Don't lie. Say stupid crap to make a fool of your family. And then maybe you can win the Senate. Don't compare Warnock running over his wife's foot to my father holding guns and knives to my mother's throat, threatening to kill his therapist, her and one of his adulteresses in a therapy session, and telling my mom that he was going to beat our asses. Get off my page. This is my amazing mom who's had her name and image dragged through the media unwillingly. She refused to talk to any journalist after 18 months of stalking. I blew up after she was lied on multiple times. Shout out to every strong mother whose story goes untold. We love you. Wow. The fact that this is who the Republican Party got behind out of desperation and out of the fact that Trump
Trump
has them in a fucking
Trump
chokehold.
is going to support that with his
Yes, but
sheet of
it's an
discretion.
indication of the chokehold that Trump seems to have on that party right now, which I don't understand why, because they're losing in every battle that Trump has positioned the opponent. So I am happy that the results are the results. Good job by Georgia, and big shout out to the black folks that saved that state and the country yet again. It seems to always be blacks. Shout out to you. In other news, my aunt, my godmom, she sent me a very sad text message. And it was about Indonesia. And we all know that I love my most favorite place in the world to travel is Bali. I have talked about Bali as though it's my utopia because that's what it feels like. Or that's what it felt like when I was there. I long for it. And unfortunately, Indonesia has passed very strict laws. They are moving towards a very conservative Islamic way of living. And so they've passed laws for both foreigners and citizens that you can be in prison for up to a year for living with someone while unwed. It is now illegal. There is no premarital sex at all, whether you come there as a tourist, whether you live there. There is no chance in hell that you can be gay. There's always been very strict laws around drugs, but that this will be implemented in 3 years because they have to give people a chance.
Are these fine based or these jail time?
Jail. I just said you will be jailed for a year or more.
For all of those implemented. Wow.
Yeah, and it will be implemented in 3 years.
I didn't know that Islam was the national.
It's not.
Religion.
It's moving towards that. The people in power in Indonesia apparently are starting to adopt from all of my research, a very conservative, not just Islam, but I want to be specific, a very conservative,
I didn't know Muslim.
practice.
Yeah, I didn't even
of
know
it.
that a lot of folks were majority. I know there's a lot of Muslim folks in Indonesia, but I didn't know it was the majority. Like
Or
the
it might
practice.
not even be the majority. It could just be the folks in power.
That is just, I am so curious to know how these, especially how these spaces that are high tourist, that economy
Like
is
Bali.
built off of tourism, how they go about reprimanding and holding this standard for Australians and niggas that
Right.
come from all over the world. Like,
Because
what?
people don't realize that folks in Australia, they use Bali as like we use Cancun or Cabo, where it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away, and we go and like have a good time. That's their Bali. So that is a great point, and they brought that up on a lot of the different segments that I watched, and they just flag it like this is very concerning. 90% of Bali's economy comes from tourism.
That's wild to me, and also just in terms of like a social,
Yeah.
watching how they do this. How are you possibly going to do this?
And also, how do you determine that? Like, how do you implement it? How are you?
I mean, plenty
Are
of
people
it's-
gonna snitch and like tell
Of course.
folks? Like, I don't know.
It depends on how sharp the punishment is going to be, right? Like
I'll be damned
if it's
if
very punitive. It's very like, yo, you remember when that white boy went somewhere? I don't know where he went. It was years ago. He did like graffiti or something, and they spanked him like immediately. And America was up in arms that there was this kind of punishment, and they were like,
no.
come to this Asian country, you get spanked if you act bad. I wonder how swift and who's really going to be affected. Is it going to be just the local folks? Or maybe
don't know.
turn the other cheek for white people and with money?
They have not
With
indicated
money,
that as of right now, so we will see.
So was you trying to go there and have some illegal sex right quick?
No, I wasn't. I mean, but it's not just that. It's like, what if you travel there with your boyfriend? What if you travel there with your girlfriend? What if you travel there with
Why did I not even think of that
your
most
partner?
obvious thing? What?
Like you're just going on a vacation, not in Bali.
They gonna fumble that bag like what?
I know. But I also, there's two sides to every coin. It's also like, if you really believe this, right? Then they're like, we're not the U.S. We're not going to sell our
Yeah, no,
souls.
it's
We
our
really
standard.
believe this.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
our fucking standard,
I'm
and
so
we'll find
curious.
another way.
So
I think that
curious.
we're on the other side of it because we don't subscribe to that. So we're like, oh, this is horrible. And it also feels wildly oppressive. But
You know,
we gonna see. I'm so torn. I feel like I've wanted to go there like next year, and I'm like, should I stop traveling there? I feel like I should. I need to put my money where my mouth is and not support places that I'm not in alignment with their politics. Right? That means I have to leave Earth.
you have to leave Earth.
Let's get weird. To Mars I go. Anyway, just a heads up to anybody traveling to Bali. I actually know a couple that's vacationing in Bali right now. Again, it won't be implemented for another 3 years, but they're on their honeymoon, so they made it. Anyway, in other news, this is an interesting one. The Supreme Court is hearing a case from a woman in Colorado, this Hayden-ass chick, who is concerned about potentially having to serve gay customers. She argues that a state law prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation violates her free speech rights by forcing her to express a message that conflicts with her closely held religious beliefs. But her stance could not violate Colorado's public accommodation law. Excuse me, I read that wrong. Her stance could violate Colorado's public accommodation law, which prohibits businesses open to the public from refusing service because of sexual orientation and announcing their intent to do so. So this woman runs a website company. No gay person has come up to her and asked her to create a website for their gay wedding. She is just taking it upon herself to say, well, what if? What if this happens? And has found her way all the way up to the Mother Supreme Court. Again, my stance is that this is a civil rights issue. Like, gay rights is civil rights. And so it should be protected. And so my thing is like, there are these protected classes, right? And so like race is protected. But for whatever reason, sexual orientation is not. So basically you have folks saying, if I don't agree, this is what she's arguing. She's saying, if I don't agree with your way, your lifestyle, because they're looking at it as a lifestyle, then I will not serve you. And that gets really tricky. Here's the tricky part about it. I think a lot of people listening to this podcast will hear that and be like, oh, that's wrong. But then if you flip the coin, right, if people don't have this freedom to say, I don't fuck with what you're doing, I refuse to serve you. If somebody shows up and says, hey, I need a website for basically an anti-Semitic website, make it. You don't then have the right to say, no, I'm not going to make that site. Hey, I need a website for my KKK club. So this is where it gets tricky. And so this is why it's so important that we define what these protected classes are. And that's, I think, more so the argument right now and what the Supreme Court is trying to figure out. It's sounding, as I listen to some of the conservative justices talk about this and read some of the transcripts, it's sounding like they're going to side with this woman. That they're going to say, you know, obvious. I think it's very obvious that gay rights is not at the top of the Supreme Court's list of items to protect. But the way that they're justifying that is through, well, what about all of these other things that could come along? Are you saying that you can now not refuse that service? So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on it.
It feels like a really slippery slope to me. I wonder what case is there a case that she is using to support her decision that's protected by law?
I don't remember the original case.
If there is an original case, I'd love to know what
it is. It's the man in Colorado who wanted the wedding cake made.
Right.
I remember, and they refused to make the wedding cake for him. I don't remember his name or the name of the case, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a really slippery slope. It feels like I guess it is important around what are the things that are protected and kind of like this
Defining
is what you have to do regardless. Especially, and maybe it needs to even be around certain services. And I don't know what that original case says. It's all businesses.
It's all businesses open to the public. So if it was a private club, they don't have to do certain things. But if it's open to the public, then you have to serve the public is basically what it states. But businesses can have claims within them saying, we reserve the right not to serve, you know how people will say we don't, like Twitter will have, well, Twitter is a terrible example right now.
You can put a lot of like signals, virtue signals. I made virtue signals, heard it once, thought I had it might be right. It might be wrong.
What is it? But clauses, you can have like terms of service. Right? Yeah. But again, you're subscribing to, like, the way I'm thinking about that, and I don't even know if that works, because, again, this is a business open to the public. It's not a subscription where you're joining a social media platform and you're agreeing
in your wording of your business values even. Like, you can make it obvious without discriminating, quote unquote, what you're about and what you're not about, so that the consumer has enough information to be like, I probably shouldn't fuck with this,
What do you think about the fact that no one's even asking her to do this and she's just taking it upon herself?
She's ready. She said, You gotta listen. Stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. I'm not. I mean, I'm less like freaked out about. I think it's important. I think it's an important thing that we should, figure out before she gets sued. Before it's a huge liability for her business. That shit is real.
Lorie Smith. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me look.
That's like the Larry David one where he went in and tried to get he spilled the coffee on the Ku Klux Klan guy's hood and tried to take it to the cleaner to get clean.
Yeah. I have to say, something that's a bit disappointing is that this Lorie Smith in some, I can't tell. She's a tricky one. Maybe not. I thought she was a woman of color. That would just, it hits different
be interesting
for me. It makes me more angry.
Is she a woman of color?
I can't tell. She's got a tan. She's like a Rachel Dolezal looking one.
We should have a conversation about that because I don't know why.
Why that makes me more frustrated?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I know the
yeah, it makes me more frustrated because, like, you should be able to have more empathy for oppressed
Not when it comes
people.
Around things around religion. When it comes around this right and wrong thing, it's all religion based.
I'm gonna say something hot. Y'all already know, but religion is one of the biggest oppressors in this fucking world. But shout out to that. Moving on. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do just want people to be aware that Trump organization was found guilty of criminal tax fraud and falsifying business records connected to a 15-year scheme. And Donald Trump and his family were not charged. People are confused about that. Donald Trump and his family were not charged. His businesses were. He will not serve jail time because he's going to say, I had no idea that my businesses were doing this. I don't have anything to do with that. And then he's going to turn around in a couple months and say, I run amazing businesses. Are you kidding me? That's why I should run the company. So it's very tricky, but the Trump organization could face a maximum of $1.61 million in fines. However, a felony conviction, they're going to get the fines, and I'm sure they're going to get a felony conviction. This is the businesses again. And it's supposedly going to impact the company's ability to obtain loans and contracts, but I don't know how many loans they need at this point. So whatever.
$161 million.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of fluff there. But anyway, let's celebrate. Say something, girl.
On a good note, Brittany, I think her middle name, Brittany Yvette Griner, is home. Back in the States. Hallelujah. What's your president's full name?
Joseph Robinette
Biden has brought her home. He did a prisoner swap with Russia in exchange for a weapons trader by the name of what's his brother's name? Victor Bout, a notorious arms dealer. Everybody was up in arms about that, saying that their offenses were not comparable, and Trump, being one of them, had a lot to say, saying that she hated the U.S. in the first place. Lots of energy around this rather than a gleeful, yes, we're so happy that this woman this U.S. Woman from the USA is back safely and not serving fucking 10 years in Russia that's at war. Her life is at risk for something so petty as fucking cannabis vape pens, but America's gonna do what it does. But shout out to Brittany being home. Shout out to her, the relief that I know her wife Sherelle is feeling. Shout out to the relief that she must be feeling, and hopefully she feels safe, and hopefully she can recover from such a highly traumatic experience. Like, what the fuck?
That was too much.
But at the same time, I think a lot of people, I saw that folks were actually saying this and reporting, but I didn't pick up on it, that a lot of the appeals had to be denied in order for Russia to do its legal process of leading up to the prisoner swap. So they that was just the due process. It's like you have to go through the courts and you have to appeal and you have to appeal to this one. You have to be denied. And then after the very, very last measure, then I guess that led to the possibility of the,
yeah, she was a pawn.
Happened. So
they got her and they were like, oh, we can
But I felt like everybody was losing hope. Like, this isn't going to happen. She keeps getting denied. She wrote to this person. She wrote to that person. But at the same time, I think it was all just a part of, what the end goal was. How do you feel about, there is a clear discrepancy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this nigga was selling arms in a lot of really, really, really crazy conflicts in Sudan, Rwanda, Afghanistan, all over illegally. And the amount of blood that's on his hands in comparison to Brittany and the amount of he needed to serve some time. Like, he's clearly guilty.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Allegedly, he's maintained his innocence.
Oh.
I'm not a foreign affairs specialist.
Girl.
Everybody has a fucking opinion about this. And I'm like, it's hard enough to negotiate who the fuck is going to edit before we had an editor. I can't imagine trying to negotiate to get this girl home, this woman home, in the middle of a war where we are providing weapons and funding to the country that you are fighting. And we have accused you of meddling in our elections.
We are providing weapons to the country that we are fighting.
That Russia is fighting. So the fact that I am negotiating with Russia.
America's providing weapons to everybody.
I know. And then I think it's really interesting, too, that he's an arms dealer. And I'm like, well, so are we. We just do it legally. But all right.
Do we?
Right. Well, according to the laws that we make up, right? Anyway, I'm not equating America to him or any of that. All I'm saying is it's above me. Like, I don't even understand how those talks go.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
That's fair.
Yeah, how, everybody has a fucking opinion now.
On face value, that's crazy. Like, what?
Face value is insane.
What?
Like, her little cannabis oil. But it's also really sad that Paul Whelan, the former U.S. Marine, has been left there twice now.
That's crazy.
Like, I forget the other gentleman's name that we just brought home, the other white guy. We got Brittany home, and every time, and even when we brought the other gentleman home, he said, like, what about me? Like, I'm fucking still here.
What's that, like 7 more years or something? Or 10
something
more
ridiculous. 16 years he's serving right now. Total. I don't know what's left on his sentence, but I can't imagine the psychological damage and warfare of that. And apparently Russia wanted someone who was like found guilty of like mass murder in some kind of way for him. And they just wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't do it for whatever reason. And I'm sure I would like to believe, I won't say I'm sure, I would like to believe that there's more intelligence as to why that person, the person that they would not release, was not, I don't know, maybe his danger, he was just, I don't know, maybe there's other plots they uncovered that he's associated with. I have no fucking idea. But I just feel so sorry for that man. I'm so happy for Brittany. I'm so happy for her wife. I saw that she cut all her beautiful locks off. She was preparing for the cold because every time she showered, she would be freezing in the fucking in Russia. So she just cut all her. Like, I just can't imagine. It's too much. It's too much. But I know that I watched the video of Joe is such a grandpappy. I watched the video of him with her wife and how Joe is so inappropriate, like how close he's holding her. Talking all in her face. He just looks like he's gonna kiss her. And then he's like, yeah, kid, get up here, kid. Like, he just, it's him. And I saw the video of him saying to her she's on the ground, and her wife just looked like she's standing there with him and Kamala. And I know there's a lot of shit that goes wrong with our government, but that was one thing that at least this was a win.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe. I hope.
Also,
shout out to her.
pop culture. She's popping in the culture. What's happening?
I don't really know that much about this. I was hoping you was going to fill out a lot more, but
Kenya
Kenya.
Burris gets dragged for centering biracial people. I didn't know that nigga was biracial.
Is he biracial? I don't think he is. That's why they mad. Look it up. I don't think that he's biracial at all. But basically, there's some new film. He got Eddie Murphy to come out of retirement.
Eddie Murphy and Nia Long in this thing.
But the issue is that Netflix is leaving Nia Long's name off of it and only promoting Eddie Murphy and the white boy. What's his name? Who lost all the weight?
Yeah, I forgot his name too. Key things here.
Key things.
What's the name of the movie?
if there's anyone who would also like to be a producer for this podcast,
You
if
people.
my fucking link don't work that I put in here. Child.
Kenya Burris. The movie is You People. It is starring
What's the heavy boy?
Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy, Lauren London. What?
Well, Lauren
Another
London is the
biracial.
daughter. Okay, so that's another thing.
Nia Long, Julia Dreyfus, David Duchovny, Andrew Schultz. Come on, all-star A-game cast minus Lauren London. Love you, but I'm going to keep it real. Let's go.
That was unnecessary and violent.
I apologize.
I don't know
That
if it
was,
was violent.
sorry.
Was it?
She
Why
is
do we
a
have to-
terrible actress.
Awful. And I think that we're not allowed to
Terrible.
say it because of the tragedy that she's faced.
What?
It's tricky. I think because of Nip. I think that she's
You
untouchable.
can't say she's a terrible actress?
I don't think so. I really
apologize.
don't.
Please let me know if we are not allowed to say things like that.
Well, you know they won't let you know. They let you say anything.
You
They
tell them
gonna
why
be like-
you mad, son.
They gonna be like, answer that was being violent towards black women. I'll be like, oh shit. I
Do
ain't
you
even
have
say
that
it.
voicemail in which someone tries to break down why?
Yeah, I do for the next episode of Around the Way Girls.
Stay tuned. We'll
I'm
dive
looking
into
for
that.
this thing. So people were up in arms and they were just like, yo, if Kenya. So basically, the plot is that I was going to call him Jonas Brothers. What's his name? Jonah Hill. He wants to, I don't know. He's coming home to meet Eddie Murphy and Nia Long, who happens to be his lady's parents. And I don't know. It's just centering like interracial
It's
shit.
centered
I
on
don't get it.
interracial. It's around biracial. They
You
said
already
that
know.
he's fixated on it. Why he keep bringing up the biracials? Every time you turn around, there go a biracial. We get it. Totes.
We get it.
I
We
get
get it. And then they were like, Lauren London can't even play their kid because she's a mixed woman and she's not even black. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh, that is tricky. Why would he do
No,
that?
it's not tricky. She's a fucking light-skinned black woman. Like, are you kidding? That means Halle Berry can't play a black woman.
No, but just like phenotypically, they had Nia
God.
Long and Eddie Murphy. Anyway, it's just giving like Huxtable family like phenotypes. Like they're just making shit up as they go. But
We
all right,
gotta-
shout out to Kenya. I guess we're gonna watch it. Are we
gonna
I don't think
watch
so.
it?
I don't watch anything he makes. So
Whatever. And some people had his back. Some people were like, Blackish is still fire. We don't care.
all right, Black. I never got into Blackish. But,
Me neither.
Kenya,
But apparently it was good.
Kenya, you're obsessed. Stop.
I don't know what his deal is. I want to know. I want to know because he never addresses it. So I really want to
The
know.
white woman that he's
Is he with a white woman?
I don't know. Probably not.
Don't make
Probably
things up, Shanti. Anyway, I can't find the original thing.
You
but-
can't make this shit up though. Today, December 9th, R. Kelly dropped a new album which was
from
quickly removed.
prison. Can I tell
In
you
which
something?
there are lyrics in it. And he says, I admit
No,
I
it's not a
did.
lyric. That was the name of the album. I
But
admit. Look at your
lyrics
face.
talking about he was with young women, old women.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he references young women.
Oh, he's not well.
Why the fuck would they allow that to happen?
Who put it out is my question. Who the fuck produced this, put it out, dropped it? How did he
It's an
record?
unauthorized release of music. The singer's lawyer adds that R. Kelly's masters were stolen and that songs
Oh.
are often uploaded to platforms like YouTube without his approval. Did
No.
somebody fake deep that nigga?
No, because how did it get released on all these music platforms? It was on like Spotify and shit.
The same way our shit gets released on Spotify and shit.
But but we uploaded is my thing. It's not
Somebody might have faked it. Was it on his account? I I did not go and look up R. Kelly.
No, and I don't even want you to. I'm glad that it was already removed. I will say that I have a gentleman friend who's not a gentleman friend in that way, just a gentleman friend. And he was like, is it bad if I listen to this new R. Kelly album? And I was like, my response was, don't make me block you. And then he showed me all of these texts where he was asking different women that they had the same response, like, I have no comment to this, or just with the eyes of like, what the fuck are you doing? And I just thought, oh, I really hope you're not sending this to women you're interested in, because you're not making a good impression, friend. And he was like, oh, I'm not going to listen, but you know, some people was listening to that.
When he was arrested, he had studio equipment that was taken. His masters are missing. The music is somewhere out there, but who has it and who has profited off of it, we don't know entirely. I Admit included 19-minute track, I Admit It, which Kelly released in 2018 on SoundCloud. This time, the song was broken up into 3 parts to close the album as he sings about the sexual abuse claims against him. The album featured song titles like Last Man Standing, Where's Love When You Need It, Freaky Sensation, and Air. I'm actually done talking about this.
Please. Moving right along. He deserves to be castrated. Okay? Moving right along to much happier things. Speaking of biracials.
What?
I think, what were you about to say? You just got all frazzled and just started drinking your drink, crazy. Speaking of biracials, I feel like there is a new biracial in the building. There's a new biracial man caping for black women. All right. I think he has officially replaced Jesse Williams.
Far more trustworthy to me.
Far more trustworthy.
I never trusted Jesse Williams, but
you didn't. You were ahead of the curve. This gentleman has given us a gem. This gentleman is nothing other than the sweet being that is Trevor Noah. Trevor, as many of us know, is leaving The Daily Show. And he took it upon himself to thank a certain group, to highlight them. Okay? He had to do this. He could have said, thank you all. This is my moment. I did a great job. I'm leaving. Please make sure you watch whatever special I come out with. But instead, he got teary-eyed and talked.
Who he talking about?
Talked.
What he say?
About the importance, the influence of black women.
Oh my God.
Of black women. I'm going to play this clip. Now, Shanti, can you please put the clip time in there when we play it? Listen here.
Special shout out to black women. I've often been credited with, having these grand ideas of people like, oh, Trevor, you're so smart and and then I'm like, who do you think teaches me? Who do you think has shaped me, nourished me, informed me? From my mom, my my aunts, all these black women in my life, but then in America as well. I always tell people, if you truly want to learn about America, talk to black women. Yeah, because unlike like everybody else. Black women cannot afford to f around and find out. Black people understand how hard it is when things go bad, especially in America, but any place where black people exist, whether it's Brazil, whether it's South Africa, wherever it is, when things go bad, black people know that it gets worse for them. But black women in particular, they know what shit is, genuinely. People always be shocked. They'll be like, why do black women turn out the way they do in America? Why do they vote the way? Yeah, because they know what happens if things do not go the way it should. They cannot afford to f around and find out. And to black women who have taught me, all of them, I mean, the scholars online, the authors, everybody, the Roxane Gays, the Tressie McMillan Cottums, I'll remember the names, the Zoe Tamudzis, the brilliant, brilliant women. Taken the time to inform me, to educate me, to argue with me. The Tarana Burks who, laughed with me, talking about everything from sexual assault to just what life is like. Yeah, man, I'll tell you now, do yourself a favor. You truly want to know what to do or how to do it, or maybe the best way or the most equitable way, talk to black women. They're a lot of the reason that I'm here, and so I'm grateful to them. I'm grateful to every single one of you. This has been an honor. Thank you.
Aww,
I love him. I also want to highlight that she took that crazy ass neighbor just took the opportunity to take her foot or something and slam it on the floor multiple times while I was playing it. I just love him.
Y'all gotta talk.
I know. Punch on her face.
That was really, really graceful.
Graceful, poignant. And it was earnest. It was authentic. It didn't seem scripted. Mm-mm. It seemed like he knew he wanted to thank black women, but it seemed like he just let that was straight from the heart. Beautiful man. Shout out to Trevor.
You think he's cute?
I like him better with this hair. I love that hair. He looks like Huey and Riley.
He does.
Doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him with a little shadow of the beard, and I said, wow. I don't know why he doesn't just let that come on now and go ahead in, but
he's only 2 years older than me. What?
You thought he was older than us? We're not. We're remedial.
What the
remedial
fuck is wrong
English?
With me? That nigga, I thought he had to be like 7 years older than me.
No.
Also,
Trevor
he's not an American. That actually
you didn't know that
everything.
either?
No, I knew that.
Oh,
but
okay.
that explains why he
has this kind of
articulate
reverence. Oh,
he's a Pisces. Aw, with a Libra moon.
How the fuck do you know that, you weirdo?
I just looked it up. Trevor be feeling shit, boy. This is rising.
Anyway, shout out to him. I hope that made everyone feel better. There are good men. He's also, I think, polyamorous. That's a whole other conversation. Heard that through the grapevine, through the people that I know.
Shout out to another black woman that released her new album to acclaim. She is up there. I just looked on her site and I saw the stats that she has gotten already. It's only a day or a couple of hours of having released her new album. SZA's new album SOS is out. I haven't listened to everything, but I've heard enough to want to hear more, to be intrigued. Her flow is just, it's top notch. It's top notch. I feel like she is under the tutelage of Top Dog Entertainment, J-Rock, formerly where Kendrick Lamar was signed to, Isaiah Rashad. So you can definitely hear the influence. Have you listened to anything of it?
I've been working quite a bit today. I put some of it on and was like, it's too many words. I can't concentrate.
Like, I can't understand. She's going too fast.
I couldn't.
Words,
I can't listen to stuff with a lot of lyrics while I'm trying to work. I can't. I need like drums.
All I know is I didn't hear this song yet, but I saw the ad for it where she's talking about I don't like myself unless I'm with you. And I was like, shout out to Deep Codependency sounding so very sexy. Unhealthy.
You know, if
Healthy relationships, but
I have to be honest. Like, I know this SZA has great flow. I get it. But when I listen, I'm just about to sound so old. It's young people's music. I listen to it and I'm like, this is
for real? For her,
so
for Control?
problematic. Yes.
You
I
felt
love-
about Control?
I love, what's the song? Pretty Little Birds.
Oh, Control had
I'm
me in
obsessed with that.
chokehold.
But like some of it, I'm just like, it's giving insecure. It's giving like, come on, grow up. Just communicate and then everything, all of this is null and void. What's wrong
Did you
with
say
y'all?
that about Mary J. Blige? This is their Mary J. Blige now. Mary
What?
wasn't. This
SZA is their Mary J.
or there's a version. That was actually
Mary J
my
was singing
co-writer's
about
thought.
Mary J. Mary J was giving us heartache. Everybody relates
This is
to
her
that.
version of heartache and
I don't
immaturity
agree.
and codependency. It's
I don't
just not-
agree. Some of it's heartache, but some of it's also like I don't give a fuck. I'm doing me, like that thing. That's the thing that I don't connect with any kind of music. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm doing me type vibes. I'm like, okay. Like I can respect the flow. I can like
Well,
the musicality
you haven't
of
listened
it,
to
but I
this
just be
album
like,
yet. But
yeah,
I
we'll
don't know
see.
if she's saying that. Maybe she is.
I heard a couple of the first songs and was like, oh yeah, same vibes. It's like the Summer Walker thing, like, oh, accusing everybody else of being so toxic, but being toxic yourself. Like, if you don't go to therapy.
I agree. I don't relate to it, but I could still vibe. I still vibe hard to it, but not
that's
like this
it's a
is my
possibility.
not like
Yeah, there's some people who listen to it and they're like, this is my Bible. I've never felt so seen. And I'm like, there's a lot of fucked up people out here, huh?
Oh no, it's just they're just that's where they at. They're young. She like 20 something. I wonder if she
Who is
came out when
20-something?
I was like
SZA's 20 something?
Yes. She's a baby.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
She's a little baby boo.
Oh, I did not know. SZA is 33. All right, I gotta go. For real, I have to go.
What the hell, goddammit? Girl, you've been to therapy. Alex L. Come on now. We were on this wave together. Apparently, we missed it. Girl.
SZA.
What?
I think that's part of it too. It's
Wait,
like,
hold on. How old is Summer Walker now?
Even sometimes I say to Jazz, like, girl, if you don't stop singing about some of this shit, grow up.
Okay, Summer Walker's 26.
Summer Walker is a baby with babies. SZA is a grown ass woman.
Oh, speaking of grown ass women doing their thing, I'm here for it, understand it, and support it. Kalani and Letitia Wright were seen canoodling in the club.
They were just dancing. Oh
Listen,
my God.
Kalani, let Letitia take you down because I
It's
have
the other way.
biggest crush on Letitia.
Kalani is taking people down. It's the other way.
But
Kalani got that energy to her.
I don't understand her or Rita Ora. Rita Ora?
I don't know what Rita Ora does. Kalani puts out music.
Does she? I have no sense of her.
Oh no,
where she's
Kalani puts out
working.
music. Yeah, she
What
puts
does
out music.
Rita Ora do, and how?
I believe she's married to someone rich.
She is, and I really have a crush on her husband too. I have a lot of crushes apparently these days. But
Is
Letitia
he white?
Wright, he is from Maori people from like New Zealand.
Oh,
He's like looks like a South Asian,
interesting.
or is it South Asian? Pacific
I don't know
Asian.
him.
He's cute. I think he's cute. You probably
This threw
will
me
not.
for a loop though, the Letitia thing, because I remember her not getting the vaccine because of her religious beliefs, which are very like Christian, and everything's deeply rooted in Jesus. I was like, oh, this is her being freed up in a different kind of way, but they were just dancing. This is so much gossip, but I'm here for it if it's the case.
Letitia, you don't think is Letitia queer? Is she out and queer?
I think you
You
might.
might have found Jesus a little bit.
What?
You might have found Jesus and realized, listen, I am going to be my whole ass self, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh wait, She has a lot of things that she's done. She's shared transphobic.
Yes, that's why I
Yes.
don't know if I.
She
Ooh, child. Again, if you want to be a producer, we need to look things up before we say them.
might be gay though. Maybe not.
Listen,
I apologize. I take full responsibility.
why? I mean, we don't know, but either way, it's fine. Like,
She cute,
listen,
whether she's gay or not. I think you're cute.
I think she is
I'm
so
attracted
fly.
to you.
I
and-
think she's so fly. I think Kalani is super dope and talented, and she's got an energy. Okay, she has that energy. So I'm just like, yeah, have fun, go to the club. We young, do your thing, ladies. But again, I don't know if religion's freeing us up in the way that we want it to. That was a hard
Not all
key. I
people that believe in
apologize.
Christ and love Christ
I said religion.
or follow Christian beliefs are against.
I said religion, all religions. I'm talking about all religions. The construct of religion. I don't know
my
if it
bad.
frees us up. See how she put stuff on me,
But
y'all?
I apologize.
Tries to make
Sorry.
me
It's a lot of
enemy number
confusion.
one.
No, you're projecting. I love you.
I love you too. How much?
Good night, everyone. This is the end of the podcast.
Oh my God, we really have to do better. No, we have to figure out. Somebody please call in and help us. I don't know. Ever since we started this the double episodes per week, we have no idea how to end
And
the
scene.
If you knew how
Hang
upset
up.
I was for real, I'm upset. This is not Renee said you have to put forth your best quality. This isn't our best. We can think of something.
We won't think on it. We're at the same time.
All right, by the new
we have
by
concluded.
when we
this
come back in the
podcast.
new year, we'll
Please
have to
look
think of
forward to seeing us again on Thursday. We're happy we started our week with you, and we'll talk
So-
to you soon. Thank you
fuck
so
you, yeah.
much for listening.
I hate you.
What?
I
It's so
do.
confusing.
Shanti, we have to
was
figure
good.
that out. I hate it. I hate the way we
I gotta
end.
pee. Oh.
Oh, everybody's sick. We gotta figure that out. Okay. What can we do? It's another segment. It's got to be another segment. What do we know? In conclusion, I don't know. It's gotta be something. End with a Kalani song. What's the name of that episode? What do we talk about? What's the name of that episode? Get free. I don't know. Brittany Griner was freed. We keep talking about getting freed up. Talked a lot about LGBTQIA rights. From Bali to Dr. Umar, now to, I don't know. I think it's a segment. I think it's another segment. Anyway, that's a whole aside on how to end the episode, but what's the name of this one? I guess we can pick a Kalani song and let that play out at the end, because we got to be able to give this over to Monty tonight. But do we know the name of the episode?
No, not quite yet, but I will meditate on it. I definitely. No,
All right, ready? Oh shit! I gotta start another video.